Hey there guys, I'm back to another video. Today I'm showcasing my manga collection. So the reason I'm doing this video is because, for one, this past year I've gotten really into manga and anime in general. Ever since the pandemic started, I'm gonna be honest, I watched a lot of anime, and this year I started reading a lot of manga. So yeah, this has been a year of collecting. So I guess somewhat into last year I was getting into manga reading, but definitely this year I bought a lot of manga, gonna be honest, which is why the way this video is gonna be formatted is gonna be a little strange. I'm gonna go through the books I don't have in like boxes, and then I'm gonna go through the books that I do have in boxes. You'll see what I mean once you get along within the video. So there's gonna be no particular order. This is not gonna be like an alphabetical or anything like that. I'm literally just gonna showcase my manga in the order that I got them in. So first book I got here is A Man and His Cat. I bought this during one of their sales, Right Stuff sales. You'll see that a lot. I bought this during the Right Stuff sale. And yeah, I heard that this was a pretty good manga, especially if you have a cat. Personally, I don't. I'm much more of a dog person. I don't even have any pets in my house. But this book, I'm only a couple of chapters in. As you can see, the chapters are pretty short. But if you have a cat, or if you like pets in general, I think that you will definitely appreciate this book. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm only a few chapters in, so take my opinion and my sort of little tidbit about the book with a grain of salt. Next book we got here is Please Put Them On Takagi-san. God. So I literally bought this at Barnes & Noble's as sort of like an impulse purchase. This is wrapped for a reason. This is definitely one of the dirtier mangas that I have in my collection, but I hear that it is pretty good. There's some sort of like special powers that she has when you like take off clothes or some shit. I don't even know. It is weird. It is kind of strange, but once again, that's just how a lot of anime/manga is sometimes. It's just weird and strange, and you just have to read it to go and see for yourself. So I'm not sure if there are any more volumes out right now in English, but if I like this one, I'll consider getting the other ones if they are out at that time. Next ones I got here are part of the Your Name spin-off. So first I bought this one, Your Name, Another Side Earthbound. This is a spin-off to sort of flesh out all of the Your Name characters. What's it called? God damn it. I forgot their names. That's my one thing about Your Name, is that I forget the main characters' names a lot. Okay, so it's Mizuhara and Taki, I think. So it fleshed out those characters, but also the other characters as well, the side characters that you see within the movie. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. I like it. I have not finished this light novel. I'm not sure if you can see that bookmark, but I'm 2 out of 4 chapters in, and it's pretty good. I think that if you love Your Name and you want more of it, the light novel is definitely an avenue to go for. But I also bought the manga version of it. So I think that this one might be the much more appealing option for most people. So this is a 2-volume sort of little spin-off series. I'm pretty sure it tells the same exact story, but just within manga form. I haven't read this yet because I want to read the light novel and then compare the two for myself, just for, you know, enjoyment purposes. But yeah, I think that if you want the manga version, you get the manga version. If you want the light novel version, you get the light novel version. Obviously, if you get the light novel, it's only 1 book, but the manga is 2. So yeah, and I got these at Barnes & Noble because I saw them and they weren't in stock at Right Stuff. So I was like, well, if I'm gonna get them, I might as well get them now. All right, so I might as well go and talk about this series now. This is one of my favorite animes, newer animes that came out last year. So it is Rent-A-Girlfriend. So I got the first 6 volumes here, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, and Volume 6, which I've started reading just a little bit of it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Volume 6 is around where Season 1 ends. I'm not entirely sure. The later half of Volume 6 could be newer stuff that I have not seen yet, which I'm kind of excited to read. But if you guys don't know what Rent-A-Girlfriend is, it's pretty much about this guy named, what's his goddamn name? Kazuya. He rents a Rent-A-Girlfriend named Chizuru, and anime shenanigans happen, is what I'll say. The anime is really, really good. I'm gonna be honest, I love the anime. Definitely, like I said, one of my favorite animes from 2020. So when I was trying to buy manga and sort of getting into the manga collecting stuff, I was like, well, I kind of have to get Rent a Girlfriend, right? So I've read all of these except for volume 6 fully, and yeah, it's pretty much just like the anime, but there are some little extra tidbits here and there that are not within the anime. So definitely worth reading, especially if you love Rent a Girlfriend as much as I do. But if you aren't sure if you want to get into the series, definitely just check out the anime on Crunchyroll. Watch episode 1 and then see if you want to continue it from there. If it's not your cup of tea, you don't have to continue watching, but definitely Rent a Girlfriend is a anime that I did not expect myself to like as much as I did. So that is Rent a Girlfriend. What am I gonna discuss next? I might as well discuss this one because this was the first ever manga series that I've read from start to finish, and because I watched the anime and I loved it so much. So that series is Oh Maidens in Your Savage Season. I have all 8 volumes. I bought this on eBay used, and yeah, these are pretty good for the used condition that they're in. So obviously 8 volumes, volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, volume 6, volume 7, volume 8. So yeah, if you guys don't know what the series is about, it is about these girls in high school. They are part of the literature club. They read books, and you see them in this sort of coming of age story where they go through puberty and they discover what it's like to like boys and go through all of that fun puberty stuff, but from a girl's perspective. And I didn't expect myself to like this series as much as I did. It is so goddamn good. The anime is probably the best way to consume this anime / manga, in my opinion. The manga's still good. I love the manga, but I know that the anime adaptations are usually the way that people get into them. Personally, I even bought it on Blu-ray. You can see it right there. I bought it on Blu-ray because it is not available on Crunchyroll or Netflix or any of the sort of mainstream anime streaming services. It is available on High Dive, which is how I watched it, and it is so goddamn good. I think that once you understand like what's going on, you sort of get to see how all of the different girls within the literature club discover what it's like to grow into a woman and sort of go through puberty and all of that other stuff. It's honestly so interesting and so good. Whether you read the manga or watch the anime, I cannot recommend this series enough. Yeah, it is a fun romance comedy, coming of age story sort of thing, slice of life, whatever you want to call it. So yeah. Next one I can talk about really quick because I haven't read it yet, but I recently purchased this one. This is Fire Punch Volume 1. Every single time I go to Barnes & Noble, I want to find Fire Punch Volume 1, and most recently I went there and they had it. So I was like, all right, finally. I could see what the mangaka for Chainsaw Man did before Chainsaw Man, which is this one. And, you know, some people say that this one's a little better than Chainsaw Man. Who knows? But, yeah, I am excited to see what this one's about because, you know, people praise Chainsaw Man so much and people even praise Fire Punch so much as well. I just want to see what this is about. I see the other volumes frequently, so I'm not too concerned with getting those. And I know that these aren't going to be out of print anytime soon, especially since, you know, Viz probably wants to keep printing these because they do fly off of the shelf decently fast. So that is Fire Punch. And speaking of Chainsaw Man, I did manage to get a couple volumes of Chainsaw Man. So Chainsaw Man Volume 1, finally got this from my Right Stuff order that I placed months and months ago. They finally got it back in stock, so I got that. And then these I found at Barnes & Noble at different times, different locations. So yeah, Chainsaw Man Volume 2, Chainsaw Man Volume 3. I don't have Volume 4 because Volume 4 is like not in stock yet. It's still like back ordered, but I do have Volume 5. So yeah, Chainsaw Man. I mean, what can I say that hasn't already been said already? Just from like hype and speculation. Like this is one of the next probably big Shonen Jump titles, and I'm sure when the anime adaptation drops this fall, later this year, it's gonna be insane. So I want to hopefully read it sometime soon and sort of get to know the characters and understand what the world and what the story is about, because people go crazy over Chainsaw Man. I know some of the characters, but I don't know the full story. So I'm excited to see what it's about. When I get to the end of Volume 3, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll read some scans online for Volume 4, because I know without a doubt I'm gonna buy Volume 4 at retail price whenever that comes back in stock, whenever I get a chance to grab it. So we'll see what I do from there. Next, we got some Nintendo manga. which I plan to do a whole video, maybe 2 videos on these, because I think that these are interesting mangas to really cover, especially since, you know, I am a primarily gaming channel, but, you know, I am overall a huge ass nerd, so I'm going to probably do a video on some of these books in the future, so keep an eye out for that. So we got the Kirby Manga Mania. I'm pretty sure that these are just mini stories with Kirby from like old comics or whatever, from like Nintendo Power maybe. You know, fans of all ages can enjoy the collection of classic Kirby comics. So yeah, that's pretty much what that is. And there is also, speaking of Manga Mania, a Super Mario Manga Mania, which came out before the Kirby one. And this is pretty much the same thing, pretty much a bunch of comics featuring the Super Mario characters. I'm not sure if this is from the Nintendo Power comics. I'm sure that these are just a bunch of random comics that they splashed in here and there. And speaking of Nintendo Power, give me 1 second. I almost forgot to include this in the video. The Super Mario Adventures, which this is from Nintendo Power, I'm pretty sure. Yep, originally ran in Nintendo Power magazine. But yeah, this is a much bigger book. This is definitely much more akin for like children that want to get into comics and stuff like that. So yeah, this is interesting to read, I'm pretty sure. I haven't read any of these yet, but I am excited to see what the sort of Nintendo in manga form has to offer. I'm sure it's just a bunch of fun little adventures because, you know, that's just how it is. I have volume 1 of Zelda Twilight Princess. I'm not sure why this one got like an actual like series, because most of the Zelda manga are either 1 or 2 volumes per game. So like, you know, for Ocarina of Time, I believe that's 2 volumes, along with Majora's Mask, that's 2 volumes, and then most of the other games are just 1 volume. But Twilight Princess, for some reason, this one got a full-blown sort of manga series. So there's like multiple volumes for Twilight Princess, which is great for Twilight Princess fans that want to actually read the story in sort of in more fleshed out within manga form. So yeah, I'm interested to see what this is about, because I'm not a huge Zelda fan. I've definitely played a lot of Zelda games. I've only finished a couple of them, but you know, the Zelda story is something that I think is interesting as well, just because it's always like reimagined, sort of like Link versus Ganondorf, but like with a different twist. I could be wrong on that, just from like being a non-Zelda fan in and of itself, but yeah, Zelda Twilight Princess Volume 1. Next one we got here is something that I see a lot of people sort of, you know, question mark and scratch their head whenever they see this in their videos, whenever they go to like Barnes & Noble or something like that, and that is the Splatoon manga. So this is a manga series that I got from my cousins last year in Christmas 2020, because they were like, you know, they were like dropping stuff in like the group chat, and I was just like, yeah, just buy me any volumes from this, just to like make it easy for them. So Splatoon, I have volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So my understanding is that you follow a team that actually plays within like the Splatoon game, and they are like the worst team ever. So you kind of have to watch them become good. It's sort of like a sports manga from like my understanding. I could be wrong on that, but it sounds fun and interesting, especially since I love Splatoon, like the character designs, the aesthetic, the gameplay. I love Splatoon 2 when it came out on the Nintendo Switch, and I cannot wait for Splatoon 3 that will come out eventually. So yeah, hopefully I will do a video alongside the other Nintendo manga, like I said earlier, with these in mind. I'm not exactly sure how many volumes I'll read, maybe 1 or 2, maybe even 3, but we'll just have to get there when we get there. Splatoon Squid Kids Comedy Show. This is a volume that I 100% purposefully picked up just for that Nintendo manga video that I hopefully will do before the year closes out. But yeah, I'm sure that this is just like a fun little sort of series with like those Splatoon characters doing silly and dumb stuff. This is 100% made for kids and not targeted towards me or anyone around my age. I'm like 22, so I'm sure even people like a little younger than me will not get a kick out of this, but I'm sure a lot of younger kids will have a fun out of sort of the funny little side stories that they have in that. The last Nintendo manga that I got here is the Pokémon Adventures Volume 1. This is the collector's edition, because I believe they don't sell the red and blue arc in like these single volumes anymore, which is fine. I like the omnibus versions where I believe this one has, yep, volumes 1 through 3 in it. So yeah, I've heard a lot about the Pokemon Adventures manga over the years. I heard that this is a much darker version of the Pokemon story. Pokemon actually die, and there's a lot of other darker themes in it, and things like that. Red and blue are actual characters within the book, along with Green, and I believe Green's a girl. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff about the Pokemon Adventures manga, so I'm excited to actually jump into it for a potential video in the future. Alright, so what will I talk about next? I guess I'll talk about these real quick, because I don't have a lot of volumes of these, and these are kind of like sporadic volumes too. So we got Eyeshield 21, Volume 2, Volume 5, Volume 6, and Volume 7. So I bought these at Newberry Comics. I forget exactly the store. It's a store in the mall that I went to, and I just saw these on the shelf, and they had a buy one, get one 50% off sale. So I was like, I kind of have to go for it, you know? Especially since Eyeshield 21 is kind of hard to come by these days. I don't see these in Barnes & Noble or any other store in person, for a matter of fact. And on Right Stuff, the volumes are sold out like sporadically, like different volumes are sold out. And I believe these were all in stock on Right Stuff, but I didn't know that. I didn't want to like look it up real quick and sort of like you know, stall for time, because I was definitely there a lot later than I should have been. They were gonna close the mall in like 10 to 20 minutes, so I was like, all right, I might as well just buy these because I know I'm gonna read Eyeshield 21. So what is Eyeshield 21? This is a football sports manga, and it's supposedly really good. The anime adaptation that happened within like the 2000s or whatever, supposedly not all that great, but I know that the manga is praised very heavily. A lot of people really love the manga, and you know, people encourage, you know, others that have watched Haikyuu or Kuroko no Basuke or whatever other sports anime out there to read Eyeshield 21, because this is a really good sports manga, and I will take their word for it because I love Haikyuu, and I think that a football manga could be interesting. So that is Eyeshield 21. Next one we got here. I definitely bought this very sporadically. I did not expect myself to buy all of these volumes at the same time, but Right Stuff Anime, they had their birthday sale, so I was like, well, these are like less than $7 each, which is, you know, usually they're 10. So if you mark $3 down per volume, you're saving a lot of money there. So I was like, okay, let me just buy all of the ones that are in stock, and then I'll fill in the gaps as I go along. So that series is the Promised Neverland. I have volumes 1 through 19. I'm missing volume 20, which is the last volume, and volume 6, I believe. I believe I'm missing volume 6, yeah. Volume 6 and volume 20 is all I'm missing. So some of these I got in store, like at Barnes & Noble or Newberry Comics, and most of these I got from Right Stuff Anime before they sold out during their birthday sale, and I got them for like the $6, $7 price point that they had it at. So Promised Neverland Volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me just put these in order so I don't mess it up. So we got volumes 1 through 5. Put that down, put the stack over here. And then, like I said, I am missing volume 6. So we got volume 7, volume 8, volume 9, volume 10, volume 11, volume 12, 13. This is a beautiful cover. What the hell? It's a really nice cover. I did not even notice that because I kind of just bought these and just put them aside. Then we got volume 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. So, if you guys don't know what The Promised Neverland is, when the anime adaptation came out, it was probably one of, if not the best anime that came out that year. So much so that I even watched it when it came out, and I wasn't even like an anime watcher back then. Like, I literally just watched it because people were like, it's really good. So I was like, all right, let me go and check it out. After episode 1, like, oh my god, I was so hooked on it. I pretty much just binge watched the rest of it, and for good reason. It is a very good series. I don't want to say much about it just because I think that even if I sort of give you guys the sort of synopsis, I'm kind of spoiling it. But if you know what The Promised Neverland is, you know what it is. And if you know what they did to season 2, you know exactly why I bought the manga, because they butchered season 2. They pretty much rushed the story. Season 2 is not even season 2, to be honest. Like, they really messed up the anime adaptation for season 2. Season 1 is still like perfect, 10 out of 10 in my eyes, but because of what they did to season 2, I kind of just, you know, I had my doubts. I was like, you know what, it could get better, guys. You know, like, they might have done some stuff here, but it could get better. But it just got worse. So that is it. That is exactly why I bought all of these, except for the last volume and volume 6, because I still need to go and get those. But when I get to it, I'll get to it. I will buy those when I can. I'm in no rush to sort of jump back into the Promised Neverland, especially since, you know, like I said, season 2, they really butchered it, and I'm still a little upset about it, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So there is that. Next series we got here is a romance comedy slice of life that I did not expect myself to get into, but people were talking about it a lot, so I was like, all right, let me go and watch it. And I watched it. They did sort of speed some stuff up. It is only one season. I'm not sure if they're going to do a season 2 just because of how they ended it. But, you know, I'm sure that there were reasons why they did it. And I'm sure there's reasons why they butchered the Promised Neverland season 2. But anyways, Horimiya. Horimiya is about Hori-san and Miyamura. And they sort of start dating, and it is fun and interesting, and it's a sort of slice of life romance comedy. You get to see them do interesting and fun stuff in school, out of school, them interacting with each other, dating. You know, it's fun. I like what they did within the anime adaptation, and I was very much like, all right, well, whenever I can find volumes of the manga, I'll buy the manga, because when the anime came out and the season ended, it was super duper difficult to find volumes for this series. So whenever I find volumes of it and I don't have it, I pretty much pick it up instantly, because I know that I'm probably gonna like it and really enjoy it. I haven't read any of these yet, just because I have like volumes like kind of sporadically, so you'll see in just a second. So I have volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 5, volume 7, and then we got so we go from 7, and then we got volume 8, volume 9, volume 11, volume 12, volume 13, and then 2 more. We got volume 14. Let me just move these to the side. Volume 14 and volume 15. So like I said, I got volumes kind of sporadically, just because that is just how I was able to collect them. Volume 1, when I saw that in my local Barnes & Noble, I was very excited, because I'm like, volume 1s are usually the hardest ones to get. So the fact that I got that one kind of early on is like kind of lucky. But the other ones I bought sporadically, whether it was at Newberry Comics or Barnes & Noble. So yeah, very excited to actually start reading this, because like I said, within the anime adaptation, I believe it's like 12 to 13 episodes. They sort of speed up some stuff, and they don't focus much on Horimiya, like Hori-san and Miyamura, towards the second half of the season. So I want to see on how that relationship sort of, you know, unfolds, because it did recently just end the manga, so there is a conclusion to the story. So yeah, moving on from there, let's just talk about these real quick. I haven't read any of these, but let's just talk about them real quick. So we got Saint Young Men. This is a series that I think a lot of people have talked about on manga/anime YouTube. Saint Young Men, it's pretty much about Jesus and Buddha, and they are roommates, and I'm sure it is hilarious and funny, and they go on silly adventures. I bought this during a Kodoshia sale on Right Stuff, and these were much cheaper than their retail price of $23.99. So I was like, let me just go and buy the first 2 volumes and see where it goes from there, because I know that these are hardcovers and these are kind of like omnibus editions of it. So yeah, I just want to see on how the series is, because I hear that it's funny and it's good. So you'll probably see that with a trend with like a lot of the manga that I buy and I haven't read yet. I hear that it's good, and if I get a chance to buy it, I'll buy it. So next one we got here, My Dress Up Darling. So these are shrink wrapped, or supposed to be. The second volume had some sticker residue on it, so I unwrapped it. But supposedly this is a fun sort of, I'm not exactly sure how to describe it, but yeah, it's supposedly a good series. That's why I bought it, guys. I swear to God, don't judge me in the comment section, for the love of God. But yeah, and I'm sure that there's like cosplay elements. I forget exactly what the term is, but these girls act like Western girls, like like American Girls or something like that. I forget exactly what it's called, but all I know is that this series is good, which is why I bought the first 3 volumes, and also because the Kodoshia sale or the Square Enix manga sale Right Stuff had, and these were a lot cheaper than their retail price. So I was like, let me just, or not a lot cheaper, but they were on sale. So I was like, let me just go and buy it, see what happens from there. So I got the first 3 volumes, volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. So yeah, one day I will definitely get into it and give you guys a full review, hopefully in my next collection update, which will be a year from now or so. Next ones I got here, I could talk about some of these, so let's just talk about these 2 real quick. I think Our Son is Gay. So this is a slice of life comedy pretty much about the mom who thinks her son is gay, and you sort of see why she thinks that. You see how he gets into situations that involves him saying the wrong words or him being very touchy with boys and whatever, and she's very open to it. You know, she's very open-minded and being, you know, very cautious with her son, because it's very clear within the manga from her perspective that you can see that like he's not exactly 100% comfortable with that conversation with his mom or even his dad to sort of talk about, you know, his like sexuality and all of this other stuff. But it's LGBTQ friendly. It's a very good sort of first volume of it. The chapters are very quick, and it's very cute. It's very wholesome. I love it. And I wonder if they're gonna make more volumes. I hope they do, because I think that this series is, like I said, pretty good. Next one we got here is Hell's Paradise. So I only have volume 1 because volume 2 is like impossible to find. I cannot find volume 2 anywhere. So, but I did read volume 1, and this is a very edgy sort of like shonen series, if I can say that. Like the main guy is a anti-hero, and he's like immortal, and like he's very edgy. All of the characters are like very like sort of on that sort of like teen edginess, if I could say that. I'm not exactly sure because it's been a while since I've read this volume, but yeah, this is definitely one of the sort of like shonen series that people talk about a lot, and it's pretty good. It has samurais, it has demons, it has sort of like spiritual stuff, you know, anime, you know, shonen. It's good. I'm not exactly sure how it ends, obviously, because I've only read volume 1, but some people have some mixed feelings about it as it goes on, so maybe I'll have those, maybe I won't as I continue reading. If and when I get volume 2, who knows? So yeah, but Hell's Paradise is definitely one of the more notable shonen titles that people talk about today. God damn, I'm stacking this manga and you can't even see it, so let me just try to move out a little bit more. Boys Run the Riot. So from my understanding, this is about a high school runaway who is transgender, and I believe they start a clothing brand or something like that. They have like a sort of taste in fashion, and this person like brings them in, and yeah, I think that it can be a very interesting story. I heard that it's good once again, so that's why I bought the first volume of it when I saw it at Barnes & Noble, because I was literally just reading this part, and I was like, wow, that seems you know, interesting, and I feel like that this could be a good series. And you know, I read some stuff online, and yeah, supposedly a lot of people do like this series, and I'm sure that I'm sure it's still ongoing, so I'm not exactly sure on how much better it does get, but you know, it doesn't hurt to buy the first volume of a series that people say is good. So that is Boys Run the Riot, which is why I have it in my collection. All right, this one I did not expect myself to buy, but I was watching some like YouTube videos or something like that, and people were like recommending this series, and I was like, well, it sounds very cute and wholesome, so let me just buy it. So it is BL Metamorphosis. So yeah, I have volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3, and all of these I bought on Amazon because I couldn't find them at Barnes & Noble or anywhere else. But BL Metamorphosis, this is about a manga about this girl who works at a bookstore who bonds with this grandmother, or this elderly woman, if I can say that properly. She's you know, discovering boys love manga, and she sort of bonds with her over that by interacting with her at her job, and you know, they sort of form like this weird relationship because like she doesn't have a lot of friends. And yeah, I've only read the first volume, so I don't know what happens in volume 2 or 3, but even from the first volume I can tell that this is a very good manga series. You can tell that like the grandmother's perspective really does come into effect within the series, especially towards the end, where it's like, I'm not going to spoil it, but you really do sort of see how she looks at life now because she is much older. And I can appreciate that, you know, like I definitely appreciate when media or even people in general give you like their perspective on life and sort of give you their advice and sort of like how to navigate the world. So yeah, that is BL Metamorphosis. I cannot wait to read these other 2 volumes just because I love the first one so much. I just haven't gotten around to reading the other 2. All right, so the last pile we got here before we get into the boxes that I got going on here. So first up is Beast Complex. I love Beastars the anime. I recently just finished season 2, but I bought this because I know this is like a prequel to Beastars or a sort of spin-off or whatever. The person that does Beastars did this before Beastars, the manga. So Beast Complex. Yeah, it's supposedly pretty good. I mean, you know, Beastars is a series that has gained a lot of popularity thanks to the anime. So I wonder how Beast Complex is gonna sort of shape up in that. I haven't even read this back part here that you see on your screen right now. I don't even know that much. So I literally just bought this because it was on sale on Right Stuff and I was interested in it. So I just bought it. So next one we got here is 20th Century Boys. This is a very, very good series apparently that a lot of people talk about from Viz. I'm not exactly sure what it's about. Humanity, having faced extinction at the end of the 20th century, would not have entered the new millennium if it weren't for them. In 1969, during their youth, they created a symbol. In 1997, as the coming disaster slowly starts to unfold, that symbol returns. This is the story of a group of boys who try to save the world. So yeah, I guess that is what 20th Century Boys is. And this is a very good series. I hear a lot of praise from this. And I am excited to see what it's exactly about because, you know, there are this is an actual like complete manga series. So if I do like it, I can actually read it from start to finish. So that's good. So yeah, I cannot wait to go and see what it's about one of these days when I get to it, because I'm definitely buying manga at a faster rate than I can even read them. Next one we got here is Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead. So I heard some stuff about this series before Giguk did his video on it, which was a whole sponsored video. I have the first 2 volumes here. This is volume 2. But yeah, Zom 100 is pretty much about this guy who does this 9-to-5 job. He hates his life, and then the zombie apocalypse happens, and now he can do whatever the hell he wants. So now he has this bucket list. I believe it's of 100 things. So now he wants to do that bucket list during a zombie apocalypse, which sounds pretty funny and pretty interesting. So yeah, I mean, I've read and consumed so much media that revolves around this sort of like zombie trope. I wonder how this one's gonna take that zombie element and use it. I'm sure it's just for gags and for silly stuff, but you know, you never know on how that's gonna pan out, especially since, you know, the series is still ongoing. So I wonder on how that's gonna pan out, especially within these first 2 volumes that I have right here. All right, next series that I got here is one that I was on the lookout for the longest time, and finally they were popping up in Barnes & Noble's locations, and I decided to buy them. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So we got Blue Flag Volume 1, Blue Flag Volume 2, Blue Flag Volume 3, Blue Flag Volume 4, Volume 5, and these are beautiful covers, by the way. Like, I love every single cover. Volume 6, Volume 7, and then last but not least, Volume 8. So Blue Flag, if you guys don't know what Blue Flag is, it is a romance, slice of life, coming of age story involving these 3 characters in high school. I believe their senior year of high school or something like that. And they are trying to discover, you know, love and friendships, relationships, all of that stuff. And I don't want to give away too much, but it is very, very good with how the characters interact with each other, with the dynamics that the 3 have with each other and without each other. It's very interesting, and I love how they just took these characters and sort of brought them to life, and it is very cute and very funny at times as well. Like you'll see within the first volume, like instantly, that like how cute the main girl character is. I forget her name, but like she's so cute and adorable, along with him as well. Like he's very, very cute and adorable as well. And yeah, like they have their moments. It's very fun, it's very cute, I love it. The ending itself, I definitely have my problems with the ending, and I'm sure that I'm not the only one online that has problems with the ending. It felt a little rushed, it felt a little sort of shoehorned in there. I felt like that there could have been a volume or two to sort of flesh out the characters a little more to get us to where the ending leads us to. But yeah, overall, I still love Blue Flag. I think that this is a romance, comedy, slice of life manga that everyone should definitely check out, especially if you're into those genres. But even if you aren't, check out volume 1. I think that it is definitely worth giving a read. And then if you don't like it, you can always sell it, give it to a friend, whatever the case is. But Blue Flag, it's only 8 volumes, so it's not even that long either. But yeah, it is a very good story, very well drawn as well. And yeah, cannot sing my praises enough about Blue Flag. And the spines, like look at the spines. The spines are so goddamn colorful and so unique from one another. It is just so nice. So all right, so when I talk about manga boxes, this is what I'm talking about. I have them in these sort of media boxes. Oh, it's not even the correct way. And I also have some stickers on here. Some of these are esports related. A lot of these are anime related. I will put the link in the description below to the artists' pages. Most of them come from Carlos Does Art, or carlosarts.co. I forget exactly what his Instagram/website is, but he does a lot of really good anime stickers, and I bought a lot of these from him. So for example, like this Goku one, this Trunks one, the Haikyuu ones, they're all from him, along with the Sharingan one. That's just a myth sticker. Hypeland, I love Hypeland. You know, they do a lot of anime clothing collaborations. So yeah, this is one of the boxes. I have 3 more to go through just to go and give you guys an idea of how much longer this video is going to be. So let's just get into the first box. So let me just talk about My Hero, because those are the only ones that I've read. So I bought My Hero from volume 20, which is pretty much where, I forget exactly what season number it was, but this was the end of season 4, I believe. At the end of with like the school festival and all of that other stuff. That's pretty much where this volume picks up from. And then a little bit after that, that's where the new season picks up. So I pretty much read ahead of the anime. So like I'm one of those manga readers now. So we got volume 21. I wonder how I'm supposed to do this sort of neatly. Volume 22, volume 23, grabbed the wrong one, volume 24 with My Villain Academia, volume 25, volume 26, volume 27, and volume 28, which is the newest volume within the sort of print of the series. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I enjoy reading My Hero a lot more. Maybe it's because it's just a lot faster just reading the manga, because I can actually read it at my own pace and sort of know what the hell's going on and not have to watch these episodes that are, you know, slow and tedious or whatever. You know, people say a lot of things about My Hero, more criticisms than praises, and you know, some people may view it the other way, because it does go both ways. There are some people that really praise My Hero for like good reason, but also not so good reason. I feel like that, you know, My Hero is definitely like the sort of standard for like shonen anime/manga. I'm not gonna get into it super right now. Like I'm not gonna get super into it right now, just because I could talk about My Hero for a while. But just from reading volumes 20 to 28, I enjoy the My Hero manga. It's pretty good. I think that if you want to get ahead of the anime, you should definitely give it a shot. But the My Hero series I will recommend for the manga is definitely My Hero Vigilantes. And the reason for that is because this is a spin-off series that involves Vigilantes. So I have volume 1, and I got most of these during a Right Stuff holiday sale last year. And then I bought the other ones as they were coming out. So I got volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, volume 6, volume 7, volume 8, volume 9, and volume 10. So yeah, like I said, it's about the vigilante sort of aspect of My Hero that you really don't see, and this takes place years before the main My Hero story starts. So I'm not exactly sure when it's gonna end, because this is still an ongoing series, which is kind of crazy to me. But you'll see other characters pop in here and there, like All Might will show up. What's his name? God damn it, what's his goddamn name? I forget his name. But he shows up. Obviously he has a lot of backstory given to him, which is nice, because, you know, when I see him within the anime, I'm like, oh, okay, like that was sort of like his up and coming story of becoming the hero that he is today, and sort of all of that other stuff. But also just like the My Hero Vigilante sort of cast of characters, they're all fun, they're all unique. They're not like, you know, Deku 2.1 or whatever, you know, you want to call it. Like, they're not clones of the other My Hero characters. They're actually characters in them of themselves, which is nice to see. Obviously, for a spin-off series to not, you know, overuse characters tropes or whatever. So, you know, like, they all have their own unique personalities, and it's a pretty good story too. I think that volume 10, where we are right now within the print run of it, ended like volume 9 ended pretty good. Like, I think volume 9 is like a pretty solid like volume 10 is pretty good too. So yeah, if you like My Hero, like even just a little bit, definitely check out My Hero Vigilantes. I think that this is a series that not a lot of people sort of check out, and I think that it is worth checking out 100%. Some other volumes we got here are just ones I have not even read yet. We got Undead Unluck. I hear that this is a funny sort of like shonen series that, you know, it was worth checking out. So I bought it at Barnes & Noble's when I saw it, because I was like, well, why not, you know, check it out, see what it's about. And I'm sure that I've also heard some other people say some mixed things about it, so we'll just save my opinion for it for when I actually read it. Deadman Wonderland. This is a series that I have been wanting to get into for a long time, because I forget what's his name, but a YouTuber that I watch, he pretty much sings high praises for this, and I, you know, want to take his word for it and sort of check it out for myself. So I have volume 1. I haven't read it yet because I just haven't had the time for it. But if I do like it, I would definitely pick up the other volumes, because I think that, you know, I believe that there's only like 13 volumes for it. So it's not even that long of a series to really read and check out. So that is Deadman Wonderland. Eyes. I'm not exactly sure what genre this qualifies under. I forget. But I hear that it is good and it was worth checking out. So I bought it during one of Right Stuff's Viz sales. So yeah, I just purchased volume 1 because, you know, it's volume 1. So if I don't like it, I can always sell it, give it to a friend, whatever the case is. So yeah. YuYu Hakusho. Oh my god. So I bought these at Right Stuff, and some of these at Barnes & Noble. Most of these on Right Stuff though, just because they were on sale, and, you know, it was a pretty good price. But yeah, volume 1, 2, 4. Then we got volume 5, 6, and then volume 11, which, like, this cover is insane. Oh my god. But anyways, YuYu Hakusho. I love YuYu Hakusho. That is a anime series I watched during the quarantine period, that I literally binge watched like all of the episodes within like less than 2 weeks, like 9 days or something like that, which is insane. So actually, since there's over 100 episodes within the series, but I just love YuYu Hakusho that much, so I want to see how the anime adaptation does it. I hear that it's not as good as the anime, or I want to see how the manga adaptation is. And I hear that it's not as good as the anime, which is fine, because, you know, they're two different forms of media, and this one came before the anime, so the anime had a chance to sort of clean things up and sort of make some changes that were probably beneficial for the show. But yeah, YuYu Hakusho, I love it. If you haven't seen it or read it, like, definitely check it out. I think that this is a series that a lot of people sleep on, just because it is an older shonen series, but it is without a doubt one of the better ones out there, in my opinion. So that is YuYu Hakusho, and that is the first box of manga we got going on here. So I will put that over here. All right, so now let's get into the second box we got going on here. So once again, we got the Carlos Arts Haikyuu Peakers, a Dragon Ball Z slap with Majin, Vegeta, and Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Then we got some Naruto stickers with Sasuke and Itachi. These were beautifully done by Dureya. I don't want to say it wrong. I probably already did. but I just suck at pronouncing words. Anyways, I bought stickers from her multiple times. She does fantastic anime stickers. They are beautiful and they are high quality as well. So those are her links. That's her Instagram, her Twitter. But yeah, those are the Naruto ones that she did with Sasuke and Itachi. Then some other Carlos art stickers. This one is also of Drea. I forget. Maybe it's a different artist. Can't exactly remember, but actually, wait, is this the right way? I think it's supposed to be like this actually, because the way I had it was like that, okay? And then the other side was a Hunter x Hunter stuff. So yeah, I definitely had it backwards. But anyways, yeah, these are also Carlos art stickers. I'll just put a link in the description below to a bunch of just like anime sticker websites that you can check out. This one's from Rest Destroy. His website's right on top of the sticker. It's of Naruto with doing like the little Uzi Vert sort of album art, which is kind of cool. This JJK one's also Carlos arts. A lot of these I get from him just because he just does a very good job at making anime stickers. So Otaku Hours, Tanjiro Slap. Anyways, let's just get into the manga because I'm sure that is what you guys want to see. So let me just put the top to the side. Let's just talk about some manga. So Eden Zero. We got volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, volume 6, volume 7, goddamn volume 8 stuck. How do I get volume 8 up? Volume 8. And if you're wondering why I have some of these in sleeves, I will explain in a minute. Volume 9, volume 10, and volume 11. So Eden Zero, it is the follow-up series, or the next series that the guy that did Fairy Tail is doing now. I'm sure you can tell if you've seen anything of Fairy Tail, the characters look kind of similar. The cat is literally the same name and the same design. His name's Happy. He's the same name from Fairy Tail. He just transported over here to Eden Zero, which is kind of funny. But I've never watched anything of Fairy Tail. All I know is that it is very mediocre, but I will definitely give it a shot one of these days if I ever run out of stuff to watch. But Eden Zero, the manga, it's kind of good. I mean, I like it. It's not anything that'll like blow your mind or anything. I think it's on like the same level of like My Hero, as sort of like no brain, sort of fun, just shown in action. There are some like interesting story elements that they throw in there with like time travel and space odyssey and all of this other stuff. But yeah, it's fun. I don't expect too much from it just because I know that this is coming from the guy that did Fairy Tail. So the fact that I'm enjoying it alone is like enough for me to be like, oh, okay, like this is a pretty good series, you know, like I enjoy it. If you know what you're getting into, I think that you will like Eden Zero. Don't expect anything too amazing or too fantastical. But the reason why I have some manga sleeved up and some don't is because when I finish reading them, I sleeve them up because I bought the manga sleeves and I wanted to see how I would like them. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of them just because they don't fit the manga like perfectly. But they do fit some volumes perfectly, which you will see probably towards the later half of the video. Anyways, Spy Family. So I have volume 1, volume 2, 3, 4, 3 and 4 are like impossible to find. I bought those on Right Stuff and they're back ordered, so whenever they get them, they'll send them to me. And then I have volume 5, which they had in stock, so they just sent that one to me. But anyways, Spy Family. This is a series about this guy who's like the best spy ever, and now his mission is to get a family, and he has to sort of like build his way, like create this family of his, and then use that as a way to complete his next mission. But the family that he's like recruiting, they all have like their own like little secret as well. So like for example, like the girl, she's a telepath, so she knows what the spy guy's thinking, like what Twilight's thinking. He's like the main character. She knows what Twilight's thinking because of her power. And the mom character that he gets, she's a assassin, but none of them know each other's sort of like powers or like their secret identity. So it's kind of funny to see how like they interact with each other and sort of like how that unfolds. It's super funny, it's super hilarious. It's also very cute and adorable just because of the daughter character. She is so goddamn cute. Like whenever she's on a page, I just like melt with like cuteness because it's just so goddamn good. But yeah, just like from this first volume alone, you will get an idea of what this series has to offer, and that is why I love it so much. So whenever the other volumes come in, I will definitely 100% sit down and read those instantly because I want to see where the story goes from here. But yeah, I'm sure that there's like a dog character that they get later on because he's on like one of the covers. But yeah, Spy Family, it is just so funny, and also there's action in it because it is a Shonen Jump title, so you know there's got to be some action in there. But yeah, Spy Family, it is just so goddamn good. I'm gonna leave that out there so I don't have to struggle with it again. Now we got Jujutsu Kaisen. As you can see, I am missing some numbers. I'm missing volume 0, I'm missing volume 7 and 9, but other than that I have most of them, and also volume 11 just came out. So I got volume 1, god damn it, it collapsed on itself. So we got volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4 with Gojo, volume 5, volume 6, volume 8, I almost said 7, and then volume 10. So if you haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen, check it out. It is definitely very good. I'm not gonna say it lives up to the hype, but there's a reason why there's hype behind it. It is a very good shonen anime. It's very good at what it does. The characters are all very, very likable. Itadori, he is probably one of the most likable main characters that I've watched in a shonen anime in a while. Gojo, he's just a dope ass teacher. Like, and the person that is creating Jujutsu Kaisen grew up on like anime like Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach, you know, so like he knows how to make a good shonen, and it definitely shows within this work of his. So yeah, I'm very excited to get the other volumes and hopefully start reading it and seeing on how the manga differs from the anime and possibly catching up or getting further ahead of the anime. Next one we got here is a light novel. It is Itachi's story. This is part 2. So yeah, I love Itachi. He's definitely one of my favorite Naruto characters just because he's so badass and so cool. So I bought the first volume of his light novel. Right Stuff has that back ordered, so whenever they send that in, they'll send it in. And then this is just the second volume of it. So yeah, can't wait to go in and read that. And then we got the Yu-Gi-Oh! 3-in-1. So this might be a sin for some manga collectors, but we got Yu-Gi-Oh! 3-in-1 Volume 1, which is volumes 1 through 3, volumes 4, 5, and 6. Oh. And then volume 3 of the 3-in-1s, which is 7, 8, and 9. So I know some people, you know, they might think that 3-in-1s are ugly, but I really don't care. I just want to read the story and sort of read the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga, and this is definitely the much more affordable option to do so. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! As a kid. I used to watch the show all the goddamn time when I was younger, played the card game, had so many Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. I still do. They are still upstairs in my bedroom, somewhere in my closet or something. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is definitely one of the anime that I grew up on, and I cannot wait to go and see how the manga differs from the sort of anime adaptation that I grew up on. Obviously it's going to be very different just because I know that there was a lot of censoring and sort of story elements cut out or whatever for, you know, the American version of Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! The manga, I cannot wait to actually read it and check it out because I just love Yu-Gi-Oh! All right, so now we got the third box here. We got one more box to go through after this one. We got some more stickers, Carlos Arts, Otaku Hours, Carlos Arts again, 100 Thieves, Gamilex. I think I only bought it because it was just a Dragon Ball Christmas sticker at the time, so I was like, that one's cool. 100 Thieves again, Shonen Supply Co. That is my clothing brand for anime stuff. We actually recently just dropped Demon Slayer stuff, so I'm sure that there was a thing at the beginning of this video advertising that, but that is my brand. And this Akatsuki sticker is from Hypeland. They have their own like little Akatsuki sticker pack, and I bought one of those because why not? Like I said, I love Hypeland, and Hypeland is a very cool brand. Even outside of their sort of anime stuff, you know, they do some pretty cool clothing. Some more stickers. Most of these are Carlos Arts once again. I forget what artist this one's from. This Todoroki sticker's kind of fallen off. High Plan once again, one of their circle stickers that they gave within one of their orders that I bought with Naruto stuff in it. This one's just a hodgepodge of just random stickers that I have here. But yeah, let's just get into the manga once again. This one's gonna be a little long or not, depending on how long I talk about this stuff, but pretty much these are the two manga series that I actually got into when I started buying manga. So obviously Hunter x Hunter and Demon Slayer. So let me just show you the covers and then I'll talk about them for a bit. Most of these early volumes I got from Christmas gifts, and it's actually kind of tight to go and get these volumes out here because it is really jam-packed. So I got volume 2 out, but let me just show you guys volume 1 if you guys don't know what volume 1 looks like. Volume 1, volume 2, let me just put volume 2 to the side. Volume 3 with Zenitsu. Volume 4 with Inosuke and Tanjiro. Volume 5, volume 6. And then from volume 7 onward is what I've read, because volume 7 is where the Mugen Train movie started. And at the time when I was reading this, the Mugen Train movie wasn't even announced for North America yet. So let me just put volume 2 to the side so I can pull these out easily. So we got volume 7 with Inosuke, volume 8 with Rengoku, volume 9, which this is the start of, actually, if you want to read after the movie, still pick up volume 8, read most of volume 8 or just the later half of volume 8, and then you could start from volume 9 onward if you want to sort of read after the movie, because the movie doesn't cover all of volume 8. There is some stuff in here that they'll probably touch up on within the anime, within like the first 2 episodes or whatever, or maybe even within the first episode. But anyways, volume 9, volume 10, volume 11, volume 12, volume 13, volume 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and the final volume, 23. So yeah, I got volume 7 through, I forget exactly which number it stopped at, but I got them in like an eBay haul. So I bought them on eBay because I was like, well, it is like under $10 per volume, and it does start right where the anime season ended. So I was like, that's kind of perfect for me. So I got those, and then I started reading them, and then as they were coming out within English, I was just buying them and then reading them as I went along. But yeah, Demon Slayer, I love Demon Slayer. Even after getting to volume 23 and seeing the ending, I still liked it. I think people that were harsh on the ending, I'm not entirely sure if the ending that we got within here is actually the original ending. It could be, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't done much research since I've read it, but Demon Slayer as a whole is great. I love it. The characters, the story, the action, like it is just so much fun. It is definitely why it's within my top 2 favorite anime/slash manga series of all time, right next to Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, Demon Slayer is just so goddamn good. Pretty much about this guy named Tanjiro who has this unfortunate encounter with demons, and now his sister turned into a demon, and he's trying to find a cure for her and sort of try to undo what the sort of demon stuff that happened to her and sort of figure that out. So yeah, it's very fun. It's very good. Like, I can't really say much outside of that because I praise Demon Slayer so much on here and on my podcast. Like, I just love Demon Slayer, and after reading volume 23, it's just that good. So now we got Hunter x Hunter. So I got volume 1. I bought this at Barnes & Noble because you know, like I said, volume 1s are kind of hard to come by. So when I see it, and if it's for a series that I want to get into or I know I'm going to eventually get into, I'll buy it and then worry about the others later, because the other ones are probably going to be easier to get, hopefully. So I got volume 1 of Hunter x Hunter because eventually I am going to get the rest of the volume. So I started at volume 32 because the last 2 or 3 chapters within volume 32 is new stuff. So like most of this volume ends where the 2011 anime ends, which I love. Hunter x Hunter. I love Hunter x Hunter. If you guys don't know me, I love Hunter x Hunter. I love Gon. I love Killua. I love Kurapika. I love all of these stories, the characters, everything like that. It was just so goddamn good when I was watching it. When when quarantine kind of started, I sort of picked up Hunter x Hunter again because I was watching it before, but I sort of dropped it, and then I re-picked it back up and just binge watched the rest of it because I just loved it that much. Volume 33, and now that I picked it up, it sort of collapsed the rest of the volumes. Volume 33, volume 34, volume 35, and the last volume that was printed, volume 36. There are like 8 or 9 chapters that haven't been printed in manga form yet. So I did read one of those chapters, but I haven't gone back and read them since because I don't like reading manga on a computer screen or whatever. But yeah, these later volumes of Hunter x Hunter that have not yet been adapted into a anime form, it's good. I like it. It definitely involves a lot more of Kurapika, which is very much deserved. I love Kurapika as a character, and I love seeing him in more stuff. So yeah, this sort of new continent arc, I believe is what it's called. It's pretty good. I like it. But you know, where it goes from there, who knows, because Tagoshi's health is definitely all over the place. So, you know, hopefully he gets better, and whether he continues the Hunter x Hunter sort of series is up to him. I really don't care, but you know, his health comes first. The Hunter x Hunter stuff comes second. So that is that for that box. All right, so the last box we got here, so we got some Rent a Girlfriend stickers from Sleepless Night. These are just box slaps that I slapped on top of here because it is kind of hard to just like place them sideways here. You know, that would be kind of awkward. And then all of these stickers I bought from a friend. She did some stickers, and I was just like, I'll just buy them because they look cool. Especially like these two. I love the butterfly and I love the rainbow. The flowers pretty good too. The flowers, so yeah. But that's pretty much it. I didn't put anything else on the back because I realized after this box and that box, the bottom one, I was like, there's no reason to like plaster the whole thing with stickers. But anyways, this is my romance, slice of life, comedy sort of box. Except for Shaman King, because I have no other place to put Shaman King, which is the omnibus version from Kadosha, which they are reprinting Shaman King. Thankfully, the Shaman King anime is now on Netflix, so I will definitely check that out and hopefully give you guys my thoughts on that on my podcast. But Shaman King is one of the older Shonen Jump anime that a lot of people like, and I'm glad that it is coming back within the anime and also within the reprints of the manga, because you know, that is a series that I definitely wanted to get into before, and before the anime and manga reprints and new adaptation, it was definitely going to be difficult to get into Shaman King. But now that we have a new anime and the reprints for the manga, it's definitely going to be a lot easier for someone like me that wants to get into it. So now, what do I start with first? I guess I'll start with Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. So yeah, this is definitely one of the newer manga series that a lot of people are sort of hyped on, and for good reason, I'm gonna be honest. So Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro Volume 1, and the manga sleeves that I got fit perfectly for the Nagatoro manga. Like, it is pretty much a flush sort of seal. Like, it is, I love these manga sleeves for this series in particular just because it fits them perfectly. But Miss Nagatoro Volume 1, Volume 2, let me just make sure I'm putting them back in properly. Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, then last but not least, the newest one, I believe, Volume 7. So yeah, Miss Nagatoro is recently just ended season 1 within the past seasonal of anime, and it is a bullies teasing manga, if you will, but there are also romance slice of life elements to them as well. And Nagatoro is a fun character, I will say, and Senpai is definitely the sort of beta that he is. And yeah, I enjoy it very much as a sort of much more mature version of Teasing Master Takagi-san, which I will talk about in just a little bit. But yeah, Nagatoro is good. I think once you get past the first like 2 to 3 episodes, you sort of get an idea of what the anime is trying to show. And even within the manga, once you get past the first volume, you will see the sort of relationship that Nagatoro and Senpai have. So it's very fun. It's very wholesome, cute. So but not as wholesome and cute as Teasing Master Takagi-san, which I will talk about once I put these volumes back in there and sort of get it under control, because there's a lot going on here. So for the longest time, I didn't have volume 1, but I recently just got volume 1 and I recently just read it, and I will tell you the differences between volume 1 and the rest of the volume. So we got volume 1, we got volume 2. Let me just make sure I don't put it back in the wrong way. Volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, volume 6, volume 7, volume 8, volume 9, volume 10, and volume 11. So, Teasing Master Takagi-san, I watched the anime on Crunchyroll earlier this year during my spring semester of college. I was like, what's an anime that I can watch in between like study sessions that would be like pretty chill and pretty, you know, like easy to watch? And I was like, let me watch this because people have said that it's good, and you know, it's a romance slice of life sort of thing, and it had a very cute chibi art style, so I was like, I'm down for that. And yeah, so you'll see very early on within volume 1 and maybe even in volume 2 with how Takagi-san and Nishikata are drawn. They're drawn very differently from how they are within the anime, but obviously as you get further on within the manga, they're sort of drawn more like how they are currently. So for example, this is definitely like very reminiscent, if I can talk, very reminiscent of how they are within the anime. And you know, if you see like Nishikata, he is not sort of how he is, and even Takagi-san to a certain extent of how they are within the anime. But anyways, she's pretty much just teasing him the entire time. Takagi-san is relentless in teasing him, and the chapters sort of play in like each scenario, and you sort of see on how Nishikata is trying to outsmart Takagi-san, but like it never works out, and it's cute, it's wholesome, it's very adorable. I love the anime, like I said, and the manga is no different. It's just that the manga has a lot of other different scenarios that you don't see within the anime. They even skip over some of the scenarios within these chapters for the anime. Like I'm sure that there's like a scenario or two within like the season 1 manga volumes that aren't within the anime, which is fine because now I know all of the situations and scenarios that, you know, they get themselves into, and it's very fun, it's very wholesome, it's very cute. And yeah, I cannot praise Teasing Master Takagi-san enough, and I love it, and I cannot believe it is still ongoing. So yeah, I'm not sure if we're ever gonna get a season 3 of the anime just because of how season 2 ended, but even then I love season 1 and 2, especially season 2, which is only on Netflix because they got the rights for it or whatever. So there is that. Komi Can't Communicate, I have volumes 1 through 11, so let me just pull them out and show you guys the covers. So we got volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, which is the last volume that I literally just finished reading. Then we got volume 5, volume 6, volume 7, volume 8, volume 9, volume 10, and volume 11. So I bought a lot of these on sale because Rise of Anime, excuse me, the way that they work is that like if you get like $75 or something like that, you get free shipping. So I was like, well, Komi Can't Communicate is a kind of interesting series that I want to get into at the time. So I bought volume 1 at Barnes & Noble, and then I bought the rest at what's it called, Right Stuff. So yeah, some of these were kind of like back ordered, like volume 3 and 4 or something like that were like back ordered. So like I like after volume 2 I was kind of just like stuck, and I just like couldn't read anymore. But now that I have all of these consecutively, I could kind of just read them in order and just like enjoy it. But yeah, Komi Can't Communicate, it's pretty much it's about this girl Komi. She cannot communicate. She actually has like a sort of like speech disorder thing. Like she has trouble talking to people. She just gets super anxious and super nervous. And you sort of see Tonto, I believe that's his name, or Tadano. I forget exactly what his name is. But you pretty much see this guy. He tries to help her and sort of help her get over that sort of speech impediment that she has with the anxiety and social thing and everything like that. And you get to see in each chapter they get into like different scenarios and different you know, funny things happen, and it's cute, it's wholesome. It's definitely not for everyone. Definitely at first when I was reading this, I was like, I'm not exactly sure if I really like this series. But now that I'm like 4 volumes in, and I kind of know what to expect, and I kind of know what I'm reading, it's fun. I really do like Komi Can't Communicate, and I cannot wait to see what they do within the anime adaptation to sort of adapt this series, because I think it can be very, very fun. And I'm sure that once the anime comes out and if it's actually like good, this manga is gonna like fly off of the shelves like instantly. So yeah, Komi Can't Communicate, I'm glad I bought it when I did, because I'm sure that, you know, later this year when the anime does come out, it's going to be kind of difficult to get these volumes. So but yeah, that is pretty much my entire manga collection. I have no idea how long this video is, just because I've just been rambling for so goddamn long. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys have not already, you can subscribe. I put new videos up every single Saturday, or I try to on Saturdays. Follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter. Try to put up my future videos. Check out my podcast, the Travis and David podcast. We talk about games, movies, and anime every other week. And yeah, that is all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching this video once again. I'll see you guys next time with more videos.